In Good Time, written and narrated by Gabriel Cobb, yours truly. Chapter 11, V is for Victory. I looked down at Seb, and he was all smiles from ear to ear. Gordon was holding Sparky, covering his ears, and Sparky was howling his little head off. Good job, kid. I know it's not my place to say, but I'm proud of you, Gordon said while quickly turning away. I knew him well enough to know that he was crying or on the verge of tears, as Seb reminded me of my nephew Johnny, who had passed away at the unfortunate age of 8. Gordon was driving with his wife of 12 years, a great sister-in-law, Mary. God, she was a funny and sophisticated, charming individual. She was the type of person you'd always want to be around, a fantastic listener and great with advice. So needless to say, when that drunk driver hit and T-boned their car, his life changed forever. He became quiet and reserved, depressed, and turned to pills to facilitate his healing process. But we all know how that goes. Not too well. It took him trying to kill himself to finally be forced by myself and a doctor to attend Narcotics Anonymous, or NA. He did a stint in the flight deck, aka psych ward, and discovered how much he wanted to change, but he was unable to do it alone. By urging to seek professional help along with his doctors, he broke down and did it. And after 2 years, he no longer blamed himself for their deaths. Then the world ended, and he kind of lost contact with his therapist. And seeing the way he interacted with Seb, I could tell he was making up for lost time. What the fuck do we do now? I don't know how to carve up a bear. I could take care of that while Gordon caught up with Seb. Don't worry about it, Seb. I'll take care of it. Go spend time with Gordon. He'd really enjoy it. Lord knows he needs and deserves it. Seb walked away, but then quickly turned back. What do you mean by that, Andy? I know it might not be kosher to ask, but damn, now I'm curious. I sighed, pulled out a cigarette, and gave one to Seb. I lit us both up. Come, walk and talk with me. I'll tell you while I carve up the bear. You'll need a tissue, I think. He seemed confused, but didn't say anything, just following me with his hatchet ready just in case. We made it down the hill, slipping and laughing all the way down. And I started to carve the massive bear up, and I said my little prayer that I said every time I hunt. Lord, you gave us this animal, may you bless us, and take their spirit, and let it be at peace. Seb bowed his head out of respect, even if he wasn't particularly religious. I taught him how to cut without cutting the bone, also how to be able to separate the fat from the meat. So, what do you want to tell me, Andy? What the hell is so important? He was a Bostonian through and through, I could tell by the way he swore every other sentence. He meant no disrespect, I could tell. He just couldn't help himself. Gordon needs you to be there for him, but hear me out, please. He lost his wife and son a number of years ago, and a potentially cruel twist of fate, you're the spitting image of his son Johnny, if he had survived and grown up the way he was meant to. He couldn't help himself when he saved your life. I saw Seb as he realized what I'd said, and he broke down. I always wanted parents or friends who loved me. You guys aren't strangers or friends. You are my family and brothers. Family can be chosen, and I choose to invite you funny bastards into my life. I smiled and we hugged it out. I let him finish carving up the bear, and we took the meat back one trip at a time. We made 25 trips between the both of us, and Gordon had a fire started and was waiting for us to start cooking the meat. Seb ran up to Gordon and gave him a hug. Gordon started to cry a bit. Let's cook a nice meal, fellas. Gordon, Andy, you mind passing me a piece of bear? I want to cook a bit for Sparky. Gordon and I nodded and we got to cooking. A few hours later, we all had our fair share of bear. Seb was sleeping and Sparky curled up next to him and laid down with him. Gordon and myself just tended to the fire until it became too cold and snowy. I picked up Sparky, who was yawning the whole time, and Andy picked up Seb and carried him just like he used to carry Johnny. We got to the train and Gordon put the two of them to sleep. He pulled the blanket up and made sure they were both warm. He reminds you of Johnny, doesn't he? A teary Gordon said he did. Brings all those emotions back. I feel as though I've been given another chance. I embraced him in a tight bear hug. Gordon, you always have another chance. Okay, stay tuned for Chapter 12, called Another Chance, coming up in about an hour-ish or so. I try and, kind of space these things out so I don't inundate you folks with too much. But yeah, peace be with you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.